Hi, everyone. Welcome. We're just
Okay,
getting
okay, yeah.
everyone set here. If you can make sure that your volume is muted, we would greatly appreciate that. And we're just allowing everyone to come in, but it's so nice to see all these faces. Some of them very familiar. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Jonathan. And some new faces, which is very, very exciting. Hi, Irene. Okay, so we're just letting everyone in.
I lost you.
See, I can help mute a few people that are having trouble. And if you have any questions, there is a chat here. So if you wanted to, throughout this Zoom, just write your questions into the chat. We're going to do some questions and answers towards the end. So welcome, welcome. Okay. Give it just a few more minutes. We have about We had a full house. We had about 105 RSVP. We can only host 100 live, but right now there's about 66 participants here already, which is pretty awesome. Did you want to wait a few more minutes, Grandmaster David, or do you want to get started?
Yeah, we'll give everybody a couple of more minutes. I'm just trying to figure out how to navigate the chat here for a minute. I see Yun saying hi, and so I'm trying to type back hi, but I can't figure out how to do it. And same thing for Kenny Curtis, hi. Grandmaster Bart, hi. Cynthia Williams, hi. I can see a few people. Rose Veith, hi. Steve Soreski, hi. Jolynn, yeah. So a lot of people out there. So yeah, we'll give them just another minute or two, and then we'll get started.
Okay.
Hopefully, during that time, I'll figure out how to view the chat options.
So unfortunately,
Okay.
I couldn't figure out how to make me a co-host. So Grandmaster David is now the host, which it says I can reclaim host at any time. So, but I will be trying to monitor the chat here.
Okay, I think I've found the chat.
Okay. Yeah, the chat should be at the bottom, but for me, it was under the options more. There were three little dots at the bottom, and I had to click more, and then I was able to find the chat. So hopefully everyone can find the chat here.
Okay, yeah, so we got some people coming in still. All right, well, I guess we could go ahead and get started, and I'll just try to keep an eye on other people that are coming in. We got 72 people in, so that's not too bad so far. All right. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to this evening's festivities. I am Grandmaster David, and I'm back, baby. So I've been out and about doing all kinds of off-worldly stuff here. As you know, we lost our very dear friends Ray Foley and Ralph Mita of the SRC over the last couple of years, and as a result of that, I've had to do a lot more work and try to get SRC functioning optimally and under kind of a turnkey type of thing. So it's been a lot of time and a lot of money and that, but we have been very successful in getting SRC operational so that it's very stabilized and getting better all the time. I've got a lot of cool new things for the SRC that'll be coming out for everybody uh, probably toward the end of the year or the beginning of the next year. So basically, here in about 2 or 3 months, we're going to have some new cool tools to play with, and I think you will really, really enjoy that. And so, uh, I've also been working on a lot of new projects, and one project that we want to go over with you tonight is a new software that's strictly for personal use. It only works on the user. So it's not like the SRC where you can work on other people with it. But unlike the SRC, it's cross-platform compatible. So it can work in your phone, it can work on your Apple, it can work on your Android or your Mac, or anything that your PC, anything that can contact the internet. If you can contact the internet, you can use this software, much like the SRC. And we call it Meta Balance. Meta Balance. And I'll put the link in the chat. And it's metabalance.me. So metabalance me. And anybody can sign up for this, and it's going to be free to use while it's in beta. And that'll be at least until the end of the year. So you get a lot of, good playing around with it. And we've got some feedback buttons and things like that that you can send us feedback on it. So if it's working great or if it's not working great and you're having some kind of problems, you can let us know. But I'm going to give you a little walkthrough of that real quick to show you what we've been working on. So I'm going to share my screen. And so this is the website here, and I've already logged in, and you can see that I've got a few buttons here, and so this is a much more updated interface that's very much user friendly, and so and this interface is subject to change a little bit as we're moving forward because we're still in beta. But from my phone or my iPad or whatever you got, I can simply click the consult button and I can type in whatever I want. Okay, like back pain, for example. And then I can hit the next button and it's going to ask me, how bad it is to rate it on a scale of 0 to 10. And so we have a lot of little emoji faces there to kind of help you understand the intensity rating. And once I get it to the level I want, then I hit submit and the software begins to do its thing. And so it's going to run for 1 hour and it's doing its process now. You can see the timer here at the top of the screen and you can see the layers that it's working on: physical, emotional, environmental, energetic, and different stress factors. And so at the end of an hour, it's going to come back and it's going to ask me to re-rate the problem. And so I'm just going to stop the session so you can see what that looks like. So it's going to ask me to re-rate the problem. And so maybe my back pain went from a 10 to a 2. What's a 1? And so to a 2. And so I'm going to click the button and it says that means there's been 80% improvement. And so, yes, I would like to do another session to finish it off. So I click consult again and I hit next, or I could add in things if I wanted to. I could change it a little bit. Maybe it went from back pain to back and hip pain. I could add that in there. And so it would be where I left it at a 2 because we just checked that. And then I would hit submit again. And then the session would start up again and run for another hour. So this is so great because it also records the information that you put in the meta balance. You can come up to the top right hand corner where there's a button that says history, and you can click on history and it will show you like everything that you've run and then what the outcome of that issue was. And so you can see here that I've run some things that were severe and then there was no ending result. That's because I didn't rate it at the end because I probably forgot, it was an issue, or I was just demonstrating that for somebody and I wasn't really running something like this particular one. But let's say, for example, if I wanted to re-rate it, I can click on it and I can finish that rating if I want to and say, okay, well, it got much better. I just forgot to rate it. And so that's where it's at. So now it shows me what the percentage of improvement was. And if I ever want to run that again, I can go into my history and I just click on it, and I can click the recession button and it will start a new session. And so another cool feature is that when we're running a session like we are now, or I'm running a session on me right now, if I hit add a session, as you can see, it opens another tab up at the top of the screen. And this is a whole nother program that opens up. And so I can go into my history, for example, here, and I can find the protocol that I want to run. So I'll say this particular one, and I'll click resession. And yes, I would like to resession this. And I can add things to it, or I can leave it just the way it is. Then I can click next, and then I can select my intensity rating and hit submit. And then that session begins. And so now I have two. I'm going to minimize this a little bit because the Zoom stuff at the top of my screen is blocking my tabs. So I can't really see what's going on up there. Okay, so here you can see that this is the original session that we were running. And so, because it's like 3 minutes into this session. And then on this tab, it's running a completely different session. And I can add another session for something else if I want to. And for all of you who have SRC, you know that opening more panels does bulk up the quantum field spectrum. So if I open up a few panels on something, that kind of speeds up the intensity, the process, that kind of thing. And so I can add more panels if I want to increase the intensity. But in this case, I'm just going to stop these, and I'll just close those out. And then that's done. It shows me my improvement rating, and I can close that panel. And I'll stop this one too. Okay. And so that's meta balance in a nutshell. It can do an emotional clearing session just by clicking a button, and you can type in whatever you're feeling, how you're feeling. I'm depressed. I've got anxiety. I don't feel good. Whatever you like. You can do a pain reduction session and just type in a description of your pain, etc. And of course, the consult can do anything. You can tell it anything you want to. And then we have something very cool that we're still working on called modalities. And modalities is a menu that offers different modalities or modality frequencies like acupressure, Reiki, massage, meditation, and yoga. And so, for example, if I wanted an acupressure session through MetaBalance, I click acupressure and select, and now I can describe where I would like that. Let's say I would like to do that on my head. Okay. And so I hit accept, or I hit submit, and I'll say that it's like a 5, and I'll click that, and the analyzer starts and the session starts. And here we go. So now it's going to do its version of acupressure stimulation to the meridian points on the head. And that actually feels pretty good. And so I highly recommend everybody, basically jump in there and sign up for MetaBalance to try it out and use it, tell everybody about it, because it's going to be the biggest thing to ever hit anywhere, more than likely. I expect, because we are, I think we can all agree that we love the SRC and it's totally fantastic, but there are some limitations to it, like it's limited to Windows, and you can't, it's difficult to carry it around portably. But things like TeamViewer can be set up so that you can have a portable version of SRC where you can remote access into your computer. And that's something that we're looking at maybe doing a class on down the road to show people how to do that. So, oh, I see that Jolynn posted, I love the massage. It works. Yeah, I know. I do too. That was a really good program, I think, that I put together. So I only wanted to put some really good programs on there. So I've been making these programs one at a time. And I really did like that one. And so, And Lydia asked a question, how does it compare to the SRC in its intensity? And so it actually uses a different engine than the SRC. Ralph and I invented this engine uh, and finished it pretty much right before he passed away. And so then I continued to develop the engine with our new programmer, and we got it to an amazing state. And so all I can tell you is that it works differently. And as far as intensity goes, it's very strong, but it's very balanced, just like the SRC, because we know that strength is not always the way. I might want some massage on the points on my head, but I don't stick my head in a ceiling fan while it's going because I want my head massage, because that might be too much pressure. So, and Joe Lynn says, can we point the acupoint to a specific point or just an issue? No, you can absolutely point it to anything you want. And that's the whole point. So if you want to put in a list of points that you want to have worked, that's perfectly fine. Or a region like the arms or legs or back or anything like that. Or you can tell it for specific issues like headaches or back pain or emotional stress. And it will run its thing all by itself. And so, yeah, it has the same type of intelligence that the SRC has. So you can tell it like whatever you want, and it'll basically try to bend to your will. And so let's see, we had a few other questions. Can you use it on people or just on yourself? You can't use meta balance on other people. You can use it. It'll only, because when you sign up for it initially, it scans you in, and then your profile is your profile with your history, and it's tuned to you. So it only works on you. Now, if you have a friend or a family member that you want to do it with, then you just have them sign up for their account. Eventually, we're going to have like a family account. And so I think it'll be more like Netflix's model, where you're going to click on, you'll log into the account, and then you'll have all the members of your family there in the account, and they'll all be scanned in individually. So if you have kids that are too young to use this, but you'd like to use it for them, or if you have older people that, maybe they're not tech savvy and you want to use it for them, you can use it for them. And so, or pets too. You can also sign your pets up with an account, or eventually you'll be able to put them into a family account. And so whoever owns the overall account will basically have, access to all the accounts in the family pack. So I think that would be solving a lot of problems as far as not being able to work on other people. You can at least work on other people in your group. And so Meta Balance isn't designed to be a professional grade software like the SRC, where you can work on like a whole group of people with a couple of button clicks anywhere in the world. We had a few more questions here. Let's see. Reverend Doug, what would you suggest for raising level of consciousness? And so I assume you're talking about in the SRC and not for yourself, but you can simply, go to the SRC and you can put in what it is or whoever it is that, you have permission to work on. And you can just simply say, raise level of consciousness, and let the intuitive discernment function work its magic on the issue, would be my recommendation. And let's see, what do you mean by more windows can increase intensity? Can you elaborate? I think I've probably covered that, but I'll just touch on that again, is that when you open more windows with the SRC or the Meta Balance software, you're adding additional field layers to your session. So this gives it the field like extra thickness. And if you play with that, if you open a couple of panels on yourself in the SRC, you'll notice that the field starts to get a little thicker, or maybe you feel a little bit more pressure from the field than you felt before. It's still very mild, but the more windows that you add, the more field strength that you will feel. Um, and so let's see, what else do we have? Yeah, SRC can be used on a business. MetaBalance is for humans only. And yes, MetaBalance is for humans, animals, because you can make, like I said, you can make accounts for your pets, and eventually we'll have like a family account where you can work on kids and pets and older people who don't want to work on themselves or whatever. But yeah, right now it's only designed to work on those things. And so as we continue to develop it, because as you know, this stuff isn't easy and it's not cheap to build, uh, we may look at something like that down the road. But right now, the SRC is going to be the most comprehensive overall because it's huge, um, and it has so many engines in it. And so, is it better for more general and use fewer words? Uh, yeah, it's really just describe what it is that you want it to do and let it use its direct stream consciousness, which is what we dubbed this particular engine type, use its direct stream intuition to work for you. It'll come up with the frequencies to try to enhance what it is that you want. And so, can it be overloaded by mistake? Yeah, no, not really. So we try to make everything like super duper safe. And so, no, you can't really overload yourself. And so, Jolynn says, I love this because I can use it when I'm not near my computer to point the SRC program I have. Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the best things about this. It is so portable. And so you're out and about, something bad happens, you whip out the phone, you hit a couple of buttons, and in a few minutes you start feeling better. And so, is it better to use on a phone or a computer? And it absolutely does not matter because of the way that it works, and it contacts with our server and is using our tech on this end. So it does not matter. The phone, the computer is just a portal to interface with our hardware on the other side. And and so, yeah, Jolene, I just use it on my phone. Yep, I just pretty much use it on my phone too, for the most part. Um, and Mary Fisher says, what is the difference when it goes to the negative numbers to the positive numbers? Yeah, so right now, like that's that's just something that we're using for diagnostic testing on the engine. So we're what you're seeing is it's going through layers and it's balancing out layers. And so when it's looking at like a negative value versus a positive value, that's pretty much self-explanatory. And so it's moving negative stuff to the center line of balance and moving positive stuff down to the center line of balance. And so that's just for diagnostic purposes for the software. And so it doesn't really mean anything that could translate into like, does this, there's no feedback for the user on that. And so the numbers may eventually disappear when it comes out of beta, or we may change it up a little bit to make it look more appealing. And so Jeannie Curtis says, when testing, is it important no one is standing next to them? Or like a baby on their lap? No, it totally knows exactly what's going on. That's a good question, though. Like you're holding your dog, does it get scanned in? No, it doesn't. It totally knows exactly what it's doing. And is it suggested to use MetaBalance and SRC together? You can use them together. They're a different engine. I don't quite have the total coherence of like SRC engines all work together and they can all see each other and they can all work in harmony. The MetaBalance engine's totally different than anything we've ever done before, and it's really super cool. But it's not totally synced yet to the SRC. So you can use it. It's not going to hurt anything, but I just can't guarantee it'll be as smooth of a ride as the other SRC components together if it's all being used at the same time. And let's see, for SRC Mastery owners running it on a dedicated remote accessible PC, where does MetaBalance fit in? Will MetaBalance be available as a subscription only or once off like the SRC? And so Right now, MetaBalance will be available only for subscription, and we're going to definitely, for everybody who's involved in the beta, and especially if you're an SRC owner or user, we're definitely going to give you guys like a tremendous deal on the whole thing, because we always try to, you know, show respect and gratitude to the people who've helped us get to where we're going to. So you guys will definitely get the best deal on whatever it is that we decide on moving forward. Right now, I just wanted to get it working, and I wanted to get people testing and using it and enjoying it. And so I haven't really thought much further than that at this time. And so, well, there's a lot of questions. Okay, it looks like we're just about done though with it. And so I see the numbers counting down and then returning to count down. Yeah. So that's, yeah, like I explained, that's just smoothing out the frequency. And does all that stuff work in this program as well? Well, it wouldn't be a Grandmaster David product if all that stuff, wasn't an accessible command in the code. So you know very well that all that stuff will definitely work in the code. So yeah, you absolutely can all that stuff it if you want to. In fact, I'm going to kind of do an all that stuff button, so to speak. It's not necessarily going to say that. It'll probably say something like general session, because not everybody's going to get all that stuff. They're not going to get the joke. But we're going to probably do something like that, where you can just hit that button and it'll just do like whatever you want. And so I'm still working on that to get that down right. Okay. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen here, and we'll go back to what we're doing. And so that's kind of MetaBalance in a nutshell. And it's really effective. I've been using it, pretty much exclusively for the last couple of months as I've been developing and testing it. And it's been really super great. And so if you work the issue down like it recommends, you go from whatever it starts at and you work it till it gets to 0. I think you'll find that it's really, really an amazing tool for personal use. And so, so down the road, we'll definitely be endorsing that for the individual user. We're looking at doing some type of an affiliate program to give SRC people an opportunity to like not only promote it, but make money, promoting it. Like, if you get so many subscriptions on it, then you get a free year, or you get X amount of dollars for promoting it. So that's something that we're looking at considering. And so let us know if you guys might be interested in an affiliate program, and especially after you try it, because, I'm really big on, using and believing in what you, promoting what you believe in and you use. So I'm not really looking to get out there and sell this to the world. I want people to really understand the greatness that they have at the tip of their fingertips, and how the world has changed and moved into the 21st century. So, yeah. All right. I think that pretty much covers everything with MetaBalance. And so we've been working on a development of a lot of cool new technology for self-help and homework. I hate that term, homework, but it's a really great term to describe this. And so tools that really help you, that work well with the SRC. And again, we're also looking at affiliate programs for selling these tools to any of your customers, so they can do self-help, because these tools work amazingly well with the SRC. Now, for those of you who know me very well, and I've talked to them about the SRC is like the greatest tool in the universe. It's unbelievable, but it's not without flaw. And so I don't have it exactly where I would like to have it. Like, we can compensate for many different physical modalities, but we can't compensate for 100% of all physical modalities with frequency, if you know what I mean. What I'm saying is, some things still require physical manipulation. They require massage, or they require chiropractic, or something like that. Something like, it may require some kind of physical energy. And so my goal has always been to make SRC, the top thing to use. And it can help tremendously put your client or put yourself in the position to where physical manipulation will now start to work, where it would not have worked before because there wasn't enough blood or there wasn't enough chi. Now there's enough blood and chi, and so now the tissue will move, or now the joints will move where they wouldn't move before. So right now, my philosophy is the best way to do things is with energy, like the SRC, and with structural integration, like massage or acupuncture or chiropractic, or any type of physical modality that would also assist with that. And that's how you get the optimum benefits of what you're trying to accomplish for therapeutic purposes. And so, because this SRC is like the missing key, it's like it's the chi part of the therapeutic lifestyle that most people are missing. So I decided to come up with some products that are helpful in the physical realm, and they also use frequency, but they really, they're a solid tool that you could hold in your hand, and they really do an amazing job. And I'll tell you, one of them that I'll show you what they look like, and we've got some videos that we're going to be posting where we give like a little tutorial on how to use these tools, and we're going to be having like a huge Black Friday sale coming up on Black Friday. And so don't miss the deals on that, because that's going to be where and when to really get them. And so we're going to put out more information on that. So if you're on the call tonight, then you'll definitely be one of the ones that get some of this stuff. So I'll show you one, and I'll tell you what I did with this just last night. And actually, it's so ironic that all this happened. So this tool, this is the see if I can do it here with my screen, and it doesn't look like I can. There we go. This is the Blue Dragon, and the Blue Dragon is like a hot air blower, so it's similar to a hair dryer, but it has quantum and terahertz frequency generation, along with 460 blue light that it puts out, and it heats up the body. It has a thicker, longer crystal tube, and so we did some reconstruction and design, and this is it's so powerful. It's so powerful. I had a lady who was she had terrible plantar fasciitis, and some of you are very familiar with my techniques and some of my more powerful techniques like qigong rod therapy. And for something that's like really impacted, like a calf, I would need to rod that out. And so I tap on it with a stick and I do energy work, and the stuff comes out into the skin. And so, and then boom, it lets go and they feel amazingly better. But I couldn't find my stick. I was at a conference for the last 3 days, and I had put my stick somewhere, and I couldn't find my stick to do the tapping with. And this lady was in a lot of pain, and she had gotten some cortisone shots, and she was still in pain. And I said, no problem, I'll help you out. So I had her come back to my hotel room. She like laid there on the bed, and I'm going to work on her with the stick, and I can't find the stick. And I'm looking everywhere, and I'm like, wait a minute. After like 10 minutes of looking for the stick, I go, I forgot. I brought the Blue Dragon with me. And so I'm like, you know what? You're in luck. Check this out. And so I pulled it out, I turned it on, and I started working the calf down. And then I did the other calf. And the whole process took me about 15 minutes. And then after 15 minutes I kind of rolled her calf a little bit back and forth, kind of twisted it to just unknot the muscle. And the whole thing let go. And she got up and she felt no pain, and she was totally blown away. And I got to admit, I was a little surprised too, because the level of impaction in the lymph that was causing the plantar fasciitis was so impacted, that I was gonna do rod work. And so that's because it's kind of discomforting. So I try to avoid that when I can. But I was blown away with how it moved all that heavy, congestive dampness and phlegm right out of the calves, and really helped to just get the circulation and the blood and the chi going back. I'm like, man, I totally forgot that I even had that here. So it totally saved the day. last night. So fantastic product, fantastic device. And so another fantastic tool that we use for it's portable and even more portable than the Blue Dragon is the Golden Lotus. And the Golden Lotus is a handheld laser. Let's see if I can get you to see it. There we go. And with this, uh, it has multiple spectrums of light, plus it's SRC enhanced on top of that. And it is amazing for acupoint work throughout the body. It has, again, multiple light spectrums in it, including 2 different types of infrared, 2 different types of red light and blue light. And it can also do, it can change the Hertz rating. So the flashing probe of the lights can make a stronger hit, or you can just leave it totally turned on in the 100 Hertz position to warm and strengthen or tonify the area. And that is an amazing tool in itself, and it's great. It also comes with a tip that you can screw in that you can use on your teeth or in your mouth. And so it has an oral tip, so you can actually project the light in your mouth. And Emily has been using that a lot. She was having some teeth pain, and I said, "Oh, you got to try the Golden Lotus on that." And she was like, "Really? You think that's going to stop this? This is killing me over here." And so she took it and she put it in there. She's like, "Oh my God, that's amazing! It really helped to calm the pain down. I feel so much better." And so I'm like, "Okay, you can give it back now." And she's like, "No, no, no. I'm just going to hang on to this for a while. We have another one. You can just have the other one." So then she took my Golden Lotus, and I had to go get another one. So no good deed goes unpunished, right? So we also have some other great tools that are in development right now, and they're not quite ready yet, and so we're taking pre-orders on those coming up toward Black Friday. And one of those is a really amazingly cool thing that's very similar to the Blue Dragon, but it's much more compressed, and it uses different spectrums of light, but it's very small. And we call it the Magic Box. And it really is like a magic box. It's kind of a little box, and you go like, "Hey, well, what is that? Okay, that looks so weird. It's like a Walkman or something." And let me tell you, when you turn this thing on, it will knock your socks off. It's totally amazing. So it does a very similar technique with heat and terahertz generation, quantum generation, and but it also can do it without heat. And it also is a lot more portable. And so the Blue Dragon is more of a professional grade tool that you can use on your clients and really just knock their socks off with that, like I did the lady last night. And the Blue Dragon, or the Magic Box, is very super powerful, super portable, and just really amazing. And I think it's going to even change the whole way we do this stuff. So both of those are really, really cool. And then there's one other tool that I don't have with me, but it's the AuraFlex light panel. And it's basically a light panel that has multiple spectrums that you, and actually Lydia has one, because Lydia's a suck up and shows up and begs for stuff. And then, yeah. And so she came in. So that's what it looks like. That's a prototype of it there. And she's actually flexing the different color spectrums that it can do. And that is super amazing. You can drive these different light frequencies deep into the tissue. It is warming, nurturing for the skin and the muscle and the tendon. And so all of these tools like give you so much advantage to work with the SRC. And so these things help you so much on working on yourself at home that it's just gonna put you on a whole nother level. And so Lydia, can you hear me? Yeah. And so if you'd unmute your mic for a minute and just tell, because you've been using the AuraFlex, how's that been going for you?
So we are kind of obsessed with it. It is every night before we go to bed, we have it set up next to the bed. He just happened to have it set here on the couch because he was using it earlier, but It's kind of amazing. We'll set it up on a different specific area. Like if I'm having cramps or something on my cycle, I'll put it on my abdomen before we go to sleep, or on my glutes, or the sides of the body, or just kind of wherever we need to set it, and then turn it on a 30-minute cycle. And I'll pass out before it turns off. It's so relaxing. He uses it a lot too.
I do a lot of physical labor, and so I actually use it on my low back and things like that as I'm going to sleep, and it works really well to help recover those muscles.
Oh, my feet. Oh my God. After a hard day's work, I'll wrap it around my feet. Holy crap, y'all. Just you need one of these in your life, I promise.
That's a very good point. And also something else that I forgot to mention, and I know I told you guys, but I don't know if you remember or not, but it's also portable. It doesn't even have to be plugged into the wall to generate the light. You can actually use a battery pack that you can get at Walmart or Five Below for maybe $5, and you can plug the battery pack into it, and it has a strap that you can strap to your body, and so you can literally walk around with it, and so you don't have to be stuck plugged into the wall if you don't want to be. And so it actually comes with those attachments too that you can strap it to your body. So it's great for portability. And so great for using on the head, neck, shoulders, and of course other body parts. And
Did you mention that it comes with the little plastic pieces so you can make a rainbow dome over an area?
I didn't mention that, but it does come with acrylic feet that you can actually, because it's totally flexible, and so you can bend it in the shape that you want. You can tuck it into the little feet, and basically you can make a cover for your face or for any appendage that it stays 6 inches away from you, and it shines the light right into the face or right into the abdomen or the leg or wherever it is you put it, so it's not even touching you if you don't want to do that. And so those are some of the cool new products that we've been working on. So I've been working my butt ski off trying to get this stuff done and make it super amazingly awesome, because there are some similar tools out there. There's some similar devices out there, but I said, you know what, this needs to be way better. And so we worked with companies and engineers, and we developed new better stuff that's just mind-blowingly awesome. I mean, it's just really Emily, you use the Golden Lotus, for example, on a lot of different people. I know that you've had to go to certain people's places and help them out. So can you share some stories of the Golden Lotus, which is the portable light spectrum device? Can you talk about that for just a minute?
Sure. Yeah. I'm trying to think now. Think. Put on the spot there. But I've been using it on myself. I like for watching TV or a movie, I grab it, and I've been working my conceptional vessel, which goes, if you go from your nose straight down to your belly button, it's a pretty good channel for anything in the body, especially digestive issues. But I'll sit there with it on my conceptional vessel, and it's great. When I first started using it, I was actually having a lot of congestion, and it just started kind of blowing a hole in it. It's like I'd feel all this stuff just going down, and I'd get gurgles, and that's when I said to him, "This thing's really amazing," because it was like little, and I was like, is it really going to be that powerful? And I'm like, yep, it is. And I doubted it a few times, and then I put it on my chest too. I had actually been having some chest pressure just due to some deficiencies, right? And I'd get anxious, and I felt like there was just a knot right here on my chest. And that's what I first started using it on, actually, was that. And then that actually I haven't complained about that in a while.
Yeah, I
I've used it
totally
on,
forgot about that. Yeah.
remember? I don't have that problem right now. And then I've used it on the forearms. I do have knowledge of the meridians and the acupoints, which is helpful. But I've worked certain channels, such as the pericardium channel. If you basically work arms and legs, and then hands, each side of the nail and the tip of each finger all have really important points in them, which Grandmaster David reminded me. He goes, if you don't know where to use it, just use it on your fingertips, use it on your feet. If you go from the knee down, there's all sorts of channels there for digestion. There's spleen and stomach, gallbladder. So you really can't go wrong using it. You could also use it where there is pain. And if it doesn't work, we had someone who was using it on their neck, And they said, no, it's not working. My neck hurts. And then we saw them and realized the neck hurt because the blockage was like somewhere in the back. So then when the laser was worked in the correct area, then the neck pain let go. I used it on someone recently. He's a massage therapist. I said, "Oh, come here," and I said, "Let me see." I worked maybe 3 minutes each cycle. So I think I did 3 cycles. I did 9 minutes, and then the arms were really unbalanced. And he was like, "Oh my gosh, that's amazing!" It was literally you could see the difference working the forearms. It just softened it a lot, just in those 3 cycles. I've used it on the cat a lot. My cat's really old. So I think he's nearing the end of his time, unfortunately, but he's 18 and I think he's still here. I've been using it on what, 4, 5, 6 months. I don't know how long we've had it, but I have some videos I took of him because he was like loving it. I just have him chilling with the golden lotus and he's like all lit up and he started purring and kind of like going near it. He really, really liked it. He gets a lot of gurgles from using it. But when you get a gurgle, what I mean by that is chi is moving, lymph is moving. So the golden lotus gives me a gurgle in my belly, and then that means it's moving stuff, which is a really good sign. And I'm trying to think what else I've used it on. I use it at night. I was using it at night before bed, but then I switched to the light panel before bed. So, but I would just, I actually couldn't. I have trouble falling asleep at night sometimes, and so what I would do is I would actually take the golden lotus and just start using it, and within 2 or 3 cycles, I'd actually pass out. For some reason, it makes me very relaxed and tired. And now I just fall asleep with the light panel. Got about 20 minutes on that, and then I'm snoring. So. I don't know. Is there anything else I missed or?
No, I know that you had helped your sister out with it at one point in time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So my sister was really sick. See, I don't remember these things. She went to Disney and she was really sick. And so I drove there and I brought her neem and I brought her some herbs and then I brought the golden lotus lasers and she was just in a really bad way and she was going to be there for a week. So it was pretty swollen and I did a few cycles. I wasn't really sure where to start. He wasn't there. I said, okay, let me wing this. So her throat was swollen, so I did here, and then I worked her arms. I know the arms have a lot of good points, so her arms are really tight, and everything drained really nicely, and she was able to have a really good week at Disney. So it was really, and she even said, I don't know how much she's into all this stuff, but she was like, yeah, that's pretty good. And she was feeling better, So she didn't like really call out for help again. She had a nice week at Disney. Yeah, that was pretty amazing. Because she was so sick, was so swollen. That Grandmaster David's like, she may have to go to the hospital. Like this is really, we saw her tongue, we looked and her symptoms, and it was just really severe. She was losing her voice. So yeah, that was it was helpful for that.
Cool. Well, yeah, we had a request from somebody to show the blue dragon again, so I'm going to try to show this the best that I can
Okay.
with
And I
the.
have a question. Someone asked a good question. They just said, like, when do you know when to use the blue dragon and when to use the golden lotus versus like even when to use the light panel? They're all just so different.
They're
But
all different, but they all have overlapping qualities, like light spectrum, quantum spectrums, and then like terahertz generation, and so they're all kind of different, and but they all again they have very good overlapping qualities, and so if your constitution, for example, you're dealing with a lot of pathogenic cold or pathogenic phlegm or pathogenic damp, the blue dragon is really an amazing tool for that because it moves that lymph like so powerfully. The golden lotus is amazing because it penetrates deep into the meridians and the channels. And like when I was at the event this last 3 days, my back started hurting me because I've been bending over all day, like working on people and demonstrating techniques and stuff. And I was laying there in bed and I'm like, oh, thank God I've got the golden lotus here. And I just kind of turned over and turned it on and just let it sit there from about a foot away, shining into my back. And it was so amazing to feel all those muscles like relaxing within just a minute or two. And I was like, oh, that feels so good. I mean, I can't believe how good this feels. This is crazy that it was helping so much. And so I told Emily, because I've been there for 3 days and I just got back like an hour ago. And then we're going to do this Zoom call tonight and update everybody on what we're doing. And I said, as soon as I'm done with the Zoom call tonight, I need some serious light therapy going on. So I know exactly what I want when I'm done tonight. But the Blue Dragon looks like this, and so it's about 18 inches long. And I'll turn it on. I don't know if it's plugged in. Let me see. But it's got a light that comes out. Yeah. And it gets very, very warm. And so it helps to increase the circulation and helps to move the chi really well. And so using it on the palms of the hands, the soles of the feet, using it on different channels, or even doing it down the back. And, usually like 5 minutes or so is a pretty good amount of time to use it. It's so super powerful. Uh, Emily, I think she thinks it's like too powerful for her. Sometimes she uses it. She's like, oh my God, that thing is so strong. I
So
can't.
yeah, so let me just say, I don't want to, I mean, I'm really, 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 really sensitive. So I'm like that one in a million, and I ended up, with him. So it's fun for him. But the Blue Dragon is it's so powerful. So I actually have to be really careful with using it because I have a particular issue. I have a lot of phlegm and it's kind of up here. So it's just powerful. So I use it very sparingly, but it works. And Grandmaster David actually, so like everyone else, he has a process. He does healing work, he does therapy, and he was just detoxing. He had been overworked, he had so much therapy, and he was just not feeling well. And I really don't like when I come in and he's just not feeling good. And I'm like, well, what can I do? And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, oh, great. So I actually grabbed the Blue Dragon. That's what I did. And I just felt his arms. It was very tight in here. And just, right, I blew dry your arms. And it helped so much. It pulled him out of it. So then afterwards, he's like, great job. Good job thinking of that. Right? That was incredible when it did that. And then he was just like, this thing is so powerful. We forget we have all this stuff here. We have stuff here that's not in the Zoom. We just have just for funsies and we have extra money. We're just buying stuff. We just want to buy, really cool things. We want to help ourselves. We want to help other people. So it's fun for us to try new tech because he knows how to find the tech. And then we experiment with it. Some of it's not good, which you don't see that stuff. But the Blue Dragon is just really, really powerful. So when I had used it on him, we kind of had forgot we had it, type of thing. And then ever since then, yeah, I think you use it pretty regularly, right?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely do.
And then you used it yesterday on somebody and had a kind of a story about that, which
Yeah, that's what I was just telling a minute ago.
okay.
The lady with terrible, terrible plantar fasciitis, to the point that I thought I was going to have to rod it to get it out. And not only did I not have to rod it, it took half the time if I would have, doing it with the Blue Dragon. And so there's no pain in doing it if I would have had to rod it. So, really, 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 really great. And so uh, someone asked, which one would be most helpful to decrease pain from diabetic neuropathy in the legs? The Blue Dragon would probably be the one you want because that's a lot of heavy damp congestion in the legs, and because the body's just not metabolizing fluid correctly, and so the Blue Dragon definitely is the winner when it comes to like removing like heavy damp congestion. And so I would definitely recommend that you try that, and see how that works. Let's see. Would it either help restore? It jumped away from. Would it help restore cartilage in the knees or osteoarthritis? Well, I can't attest to whether it would restore cartilage because I haven't done any studies on that. Because all this tech is relatively new for me too, and so I understand how it worked because I helped design these improvements and stuff. So, but I haven't tested it on everything under the sun. But what I will tell you is, the lady that I worked on, not only did she have the terrible plantar fasciitis, but she also had arthritis that was developing in her fingers, and her index fingers were kind of like curled up, like like people get when they get arthritis. And she said, can it do anything for that? And I said, actually, I'm pretty sure it can help with that. And so I used the Blue Dragon on the sixth cervical vertebrae area. So basically at the base of the neck, because that's where all the nerves are that go to the end of the hands and arms. And so I worked that for probably about 5 or 6 minutes, maybe 7 minutes at the most. And I said, okay, that's pretty good. Let's give that a few minutes and see how it does. And she literally watched her fingers correct. They actually unbent and straightened out. And within probably 5 minutes after that, she's like, I don't have arthritis in my finger anymore. And I'm like, well, I'm glad to see that you think it's feeling better, and it definitely looks a lot better. So, what do you think? And she's like, that's the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And so it actually is pretty darn amazing. But I know that we're getting pretty late in the discussion, so we're running out of time. So there's a couple other things that I wanted to go over and share with you to let you know what's available out there. And so some of the things that we're doing is we're also doing classes. So we're doing conversations classes, and that's what we call it, conversations with Tara Jex and Grandmaster David. And so we do those classes, 4 of them a month. And there's so much information. We go over acupoints and where they're at and what they do and how they help you. We go over different imbalances and we discuss different issues that people run into that they can help themselves or other people learning about this information. So we help to demystify, these problems that go on with the body and help to offer, easy real world solutions on how to deal with these things that you can do either through exercise like qigong or shun shan tao, all this kind of stuff that you can do to really make a huge difference and impact in your life. And so another class that we're doing is SRC for You, advanced training, where we're going over everything from marketing your SRC stuff, basically starting up a business or expanding your business with SRC. And of course, we go over advanced protocols and usages for the SRC as well. So a lot of great advanced benefits to those classes. And we may have more classes coming down the line. I've been working with a couple of other people, and they want me to do some classes moving forward. So we may have some classes on how to do specific techniques and how to set up a business of doing these techniques where you don't even have to leave your house, but if you have SRC, you don't have to leave your house anyway. So you can learn the techniques that built the SRC, because the SRC is basically it mimics all the frequencies that we do in Shun Shan Tao. And that's what it really is like it's the cybernetic arm of Shun Shan Tao Qigong. And so, except you don't have to have, dozens of years of Qigong experience. You can just punch it in and it'll translate your request into the desired Qigong frequencies. And so there's so much benefit to the classes. If you have any questions about the classes, or maybe you want to see like a sample class of the kind of stuff that we're talking about, I think we have some videos on that are available.
And I just want to say, I do have a video on YouTube. We do have a YouTube channel. Our main website is, because it's kind of confusing, we have www.divinesourcewellness.com. And then we have a YouTube channel for that as well, youtube.com/divinesourcewellness. But I just want to say that on the Divine Source Wellness page, I just spent a lot of time updating it. So I now have all the links on there for everything. I have all the YouTubes, all the Facebooks, because Meta Balance has its own YouTube and Facebook. SRC has its own website, and it has its own Facebook and YouTube also. So I have everything right now. I call it like the main hub would be divinesourcewellness.com. So I'm trying to make it very less confusing and easier for everyone. We have information on everything there. And then if you branch out, you'll find metabalance.me. That's its own website. And then SRC for You has its own website. So I don't know if that's helpful. And
Yeah.
then we do, so on YouTube, my point, again, the point was I do have a clip of the conversations with Grandmaster David. I believe there's a short one and a long one. I have a 3-minute one and maybe an 8-minute one, but I'm going to do another one. I just haven't had time. He just actually did the last 2 months were different. He taught actual techniques. So the whole month, we just did dowsing. So there's a bobber dowser that you can buy, and then there's the pendulum dowsers. So he did a whole month on dowsing. Raymond Grace has the bobber dowser. It's the piece of wood with a piece of metal out of it. And so those are like maybe $20. And so you would need to order that, but he did a fabulous job on that one. And before that month was yes therapy, a whole bunch of yes therapy. And then we did the Shen technique before that. So the last 3 months of classes were actually techniques that you can use on yourself, your pets, your loved ones, or as a practitioner, it would just broaden your horizon, knowing these things.
Jeannie Curtis had a question, and it's a good question. How does the Blue Dragon compare to the Iteracare Red Wand? And so I definitely tried out the Iteracare. It took me a while to get around to play with it, but I was not a super big fan of it, and it caused a lot of like EMF electrical disruption that in my field. And Emily couldn't even be around it for 2 seconds, and so
it was really bad.
The
Unfortunately.
energy, yeah, unfortunately, because I
we
wouldn't
have because we have 3 of them. Okay, we had 3 of them, but I tried so hard, and he was using it at an event, and I like went near them, and I was like, it was just horrible. All this stuff in my neck, and I couldn't breathe, and I was bottoming out, and he had to do the revival acupoints on me. So it was
yeah,
really.
So it caused like major detox, and this comes from like unbalanced frequency. And so I said, this is
It does
actually,
work, and it is
yeah,
strong, right? But it's not balanced, so it has very harsh, strong frequencies that sometimes I guess sensitive people just can't handle.
yeah, and there's been a lot of people who've had a lot of benefit, have reported back to me from the Iteracare wand that is really good. It helped them out tremendously. But I found that the ones that I've used and the experience that I've had with it is that it's a good product, but the frequencies are unbalanced, and it really kind of grates on the central nervous system. And I said, you know what, I could do this a lot better, with better tech. And so so there's different modifications that in my opinion, turned out way better. And you can try it for yourself and see what you think. But I think it's pretty self-evident by the run times that are recommended, where Iteracare recommends about 20 minutes to 60 minutes sometimes of therapy time with their device, and we're recommending like 5 minutes to maybe 15 minutes on seriously heavy congested issues, and no detox. So I think that kind of speaks for itself, right there. So it's like this: if it didn't need to be improved on, I would not have improved on it. But yeah, so anyway, that's my opinion on it, and that's the best that I can give you on that. And so Yan says, have you worked with cervical neck osteoarthritis? Yeah, in particular with protocols on the SRC or the Mastery. I really can't go into all that right now because I don't, we're kind of just giving an update tonight. We're not really doing a class, but yes, you can definitely run those things for sure. And those things do take time because they're kind of more organ related, where the organ's kind of like not having enough yin qi, or it's too much yang qi and it's kind of overheating or undercooling the area. And so there definitely is some recommendations for that, and maybe you could contact us in an email or something. We could go over that later. And so all right, well, great. It looks like I don't see any more pressing questions here. Oh, where's one? What do you think of tachyon therapy? Tachyon therapy is great. I helped develop some frequencies of tachyon for a good friend of mine who promotes that type of product, and he does a really amazing job with it. And so at least that particular company that I know of that's producing tachyon technology is very, very effective, very powerful, very, very safe. And I like it a lot. And okay, let's see if there's anything else. Oh, for like torn meniscus, just to clarify, do you think the golden lotus is best for torn meniscus? And so I think it's very therapeutic, and I think that torn meniscuses can be oftentimes misdiagnosed, and a lot of times it's more like fluid pressure in the area. Even if they see it on MRI, I have seen where it's not really a torn meniscus. But whatever it is, I think that you could definitely try the golden lotus on something like that, because it's the light penetration is amazing for rejuvenating the tissues. And if it's really a torn meniscus, it could require surgery. But if it's not a torn meniscus and it's just fluid pressure, or it's some kind of blood deficiency in the meniscus that's giving symptoms of a torn meniscus, I think you'd have a high probability of being able to help that issue. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's about all the questions that what Irene has a question. What about the nose, or what about the noise? I'm not exactly sure what she's saying there. Uh, and so anything for neuropathy. And so I think the Blue Dragon would also be a very, good assisting tool for people with neuropathy, because again, that's kind of a heavy damp condition, which is like, similar to the diabetic neuropathy, where the fluid, and so working the back, or like the low back, working the legs, and just really helping to move that stuff out of those channels, over time you should be able to decrease the amount of dampness, and then that should help. I have seen a couple of people report back to me that they've helped their neuropathy, with the Blue Dragon. So yeah. And so yeah, we're gonna, as far as prices and stuff goes, we're gonna put out some really great deals coming up for Black Friday. We're gonna try to give everybody we're gonna give everybody the best deal we can, and we're going to help you get what you want, because we really, really want to help the SRC community, and we want to help people who've helped us in the past. And so we're going to do our best to make sure everybody gets what they want. And we're going to look at doing an affiliate program so you guys can do some sales and, either recoup your money or make some money for yourself. And so I can't think of anything else. And I really appreciate, though, everybody coming out tonight. What a turnout. We had like almost 75 people, 80 people, periodically throughout the night tonight. And it's great to see so many amazing people. And I want to bless all of you with health and wellness and happiness and prosperity for the upcoming year and this upcoming season. And I hope that, I'll get a chance to see you in the classes, and, use the SRC, use the Meta Balance, share the Meta Balance with people, try to get them to sign up, let them try it out. We want to try to expand people's consciousness. We want to take them to an understanding of, hey, get into the 21st century, bro. We got some really great stuff here, and we need to get you out of the Stone Age with all that witchcraft jazz and get you over here with the technology where we're at. So try to help these people. If somebody comes up to you and they're being mean to you, they're having a bad day, you go, you know what? You need Meta Balance. That's what you need. And so send them to the website, have them download it, let them run it. And you know what? The more people you share it with, the more people will be happy around you. And then that makes your life a lot happier. So Meta Balance makes people happy. And so down the road, when we're looking at taking it out of beta, like I say, we'll look at having an affiliate program. And so you guys, can get credit for people that you recommended and this kind of thing. And so that way SRC people benefit from our work, because you guys are really the army that carries this out there. And I know that you guys lay down devastation on sickness and disease everywhere you go, and I appreciate it. And I know that the people of the world appreciate it. And so we have the most amazing technology for therapy and for healing and for happiness. And I just want to continue that tradition. And so thank you all for coming tonight. Emily, do you have anything else that you'd like to close out with?
No, I just have someone who has the products that Christy says, thank you. I love the product. She got we haven't launched yet, but we had some private clients that happened to see them, and so we did a couple of sales. So she has the Blue Dragon and the I think she has everything. Yeah, she has the light paddle, the Golden Lotus, and the Blue Dragon. So I'm glad that they're working for you, Christy. No, I just wanted to say, like, thanks for coming. We're so, happy that you're all here. It's really nice to see all your faces. I'd like to do another Zoom, so I'm not sure when that will be, but I just want everyone to use the meta balance, and then possibly I'd like to do a Zoom for the products, especially in the new year, do some kind of class where we can talk about how to use it, and protocols and stuff like that. So we're going to get some videos out. I worked really hard putting a video together for the Blue Dragon yesterday, so it took me all day and night, but it's on YouTube. So I tried to come out with some information about that to answer some questions you might have. And my next task is to get one for the light panel and to get one for the Golden Lotus up ASAP. But if you forget how to contact us, you can always just remember divinesourcewellness.com, have all the links to everything there. And then my email is please contact Emily@gmail.com. So it's super easy to remember. So just shoot me an email if you have any questions, and make sure you're on our newsletter list. Sometimes the newsletter list likes to end up in spam folders. So if you're not receiving that, check your spam folder. And if you're not getting it, let me know so I can help you with that. I think that's it.
Okay, well, thank you guys. Be blessed. Have a great evening. Thank you so much for coming, and look forward to seeing you soon. We're going to do another update, and we're going to do a newsletter where we keep people more up to date of what we're doing. So please, please sign up for the newsletter, because Facebook blocks this kind of information. YouTube blocks this kind of information, and we just really got sick and tired of that. And I said, you know what? The last bastion on the internet of freedom of speech is in a newsletter, because you subscribe to it and it doesn't cost anything, but you're subscribing to it and they won't block the newsletter. So we can keep you up to date on the latest stuff that we're doing and not get pegged for spamming people because we sent, like 5 different text messages to somebody or something like that. I mean, you would not believe the level of censorship that's out there right now.
Yeah, for the first time. So what I do is, I think people sometimes think I'm like a robot, but I actually sit for like 12 hours and I just copy and paste and I text people, because I know that these emails are ending up in spam folders. So this time I texted about, I don't know, 800 people the Zoom link, and so many people didn't get it. And then not the Zoom link, it was the email about the Zoom, like, hi, we're doing a Zoom. And so I worked with 3 clients today, and I kept copying and pasting the information in a text, and they're not getting it. And that's when I realized a bunch of people didn't know about this Zoom. And I thought it was odd that they didn't respond, but I'm like, everyone must be really busy. And like half the people I texted didn't get it. So I said to him, well, moving forward, I thought that texting was a way around, our stuff being censored, but now apparently they're censoring what they appear to be spam texts, the nature of it. They're like reading what I'm saying and they're like, oh, she's promoting something, this isn't going to go through. So the best way is probably email. I did want to say, if you have Gmail has taken the liberty of creating new folders for you. If you're on a phone, it's hard to see. If you're on the desktop, you'll see that they've created a social folder and a promotional folder. You did not create these, but if you're a Gmail user, they're there. And when newsletters come through, they automatically sometimes get put in those folders. So we use Constant Contact, which is a newsletter service. And we have an acupuncturist colleague that uses Constant Contact, and they always put her newsletters in my social folder. I think there's a way to mark it not as that, but so just if you're not getting it, someone asked how often they come out. Right now, it's been once a month. I think the last time was September though, so it's been a while. And then I sent one out last week. But we're gonna try to be sending one out, I think, once a week or every other week. Right? Is that a frequency every other week? Like twice a month?
Probably every other week. We're looking, we might look at doing it every week depending on how we can structure it, because we have, if we have that many tips that we'd like to send out, you know, which is basically like 52 tips, you know, a year, if we're doing it once a week. Right now, I think we can definitely commit to every other week. And so the main thing, though, to be involved with the newsletter is so that you get what's going on and we don't get censored trying to get everybody together, because we can, you know, we can do so much. And this also pushes us to get more tips and tricks out there that can help you in whatever you're doing. And so I've got a great idea for some stuff to do that with, and we just have to implement that. So that's going to be coming up pretty soon. So the best thing to do is like try to sign up now so you're totally on the list so you don't miss anything when we do send out these cool tips and tricks to help you out.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and close out. But thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. And we look forward to seeing everybody in the future. God bless and have a great evening.
Thank you.
Thanks. Good to
Thanks,
see you.
everyone. Nice to see everyone. Hi,
Thank
Bart.
Hey,
Thank you.
bye.
Love
Thank
you
you.
guys. Bye.
Thanks,
Love you
Tons.
guys. Nice to see your faces.
Bye. Bye, Emily. Bye, Grandmaster.
Bye-bye. Take care,
Hi,
Sylvie.
Sylvie.
Bye.
Bye, Sheila. Bye, Steve.
Bye,
Jen.
guys. Bye, Grandmaster.
Bye,
Miss you,
Jen.
buddy.
You're
It's
wonderful.
the
Bye,
extended
Beverly.
Brady Bunch
Bye,
family
Tim and
here.
Chelsea. Bye, Cynthia. Bye, Rose.
The Quantum Bunch. The Quantum
Yeah,
Bunch.
yeah, right.
That's the way we became the Quantum Bunch.
You know, Rose, I got to tell you, Rose Beef, yeah, I use you and your sister's story so much with the implants in the teeth thing, and people laugh at that. Oh my God, I've got so many miles out of that story. I can't even tell you
I
about
just
how.
told that story the other day to a friend.
Well, now you
It
got to
is-
tell us.
Oh my God, it's so funny. You know, so I mean, it's her story. She can tell it better than I can. So if you want to tell it to him, go ahead.
Well,
what-
I
I'm-
talked to
Okay.
my
okay.
dentist had told me that I didn't have enough bone in my lower jaw to have implants. And so I talked to Grandmaster David about how could we develop some more bone. So he gave me some tips on it, and I worked for a year, went back to the dentist, and he took another x-ray, and he says, you've got plenty of bone in there. So we're going to go ahead and put 3 of them in. And when I get in there and find you've got more, then I'll put another one. So when I woke up from the sedation, he told me, he said he couldn't believe the amount of bone and the strength of it. It was almost like granite. And he said that, he was able to put another implant in. So I got 4. And so that's the way the story went. All I could imagine was he was breaking off drills as he was drilling in to make the inserts for the implants. And I still have them, no problem.
That's great. That's great. And I remember too, you'd done the implants and you went back and to do a checkup, and he said, "Wow, you know, there's like 4 weeks worth of healing here, and it's only been 2 weeks." You know, and
Right.
yeah, and he says, "You know, this whole thing is so weird because." You know, you didn't have strong enough bones, you know, several months ago to do
bone
this.
wasn't there.
Right, the bone wasn't there, and now I had to use a special drill bit because your bones were like as hard as granite to drill
Right.
through your bones. Because
Yeah.
when Rose talked to me about that, and she asked me what could be done, I said, well, if you have iron body, you can't have soft bones. So I sent her the iron body master armor protocol for the SRC, and I said, just run this every day for like the next 9 months or something. And I think she ran it for about 7 months, and then she went into the dentist, and that's when she was able to do the thing, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolute miracle. So I tell that story all the time, and so I want to thank you so much because I've got so many miles out of that story. People love that story.
Yeah.
It's just another example of if you just do what I tell you to do, it'll work out.
Right.
Yeah, Emily, Lydia. All right. Thanks, Lydia,
It
tonight
is
with
true.
your help.
What
with the
I told you
panel.
that this week. I told you that You know what? I was like, you are right a lot.
Yeah,
Mostly
yeah.
always. And I said I was going to start listening more,
My
not do
God.
it my way.
All right, well, I'm going to get off here. You guys have a great night and keep on doing your great stuff, okay? Glad to see all of you tonight. You look great. Keep up the good work. And Jeannie, I'll get with you. You know, we'll talk a little bit later, okay? All right. All right. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
All right, good night, everyone. We'll see you again soon.